Hello and welcome, boys and girls, here for this 2022 Superlights stream from Hungary. This is round 10 and I'm your commentator Menno Klont, your sole commentator for tonight's race, which is 58 laps. On the cameras we've got Tom Stevens tonight, and yeah, we will bring you all the action from this interesting circuit, where we already had some great racing last week in the Formula Sprint 1 and the Formula Sprint 2 championships. But now it's time for the even faster cars to see what they can do at this track. Only one race, like always, this season, so 58 laps of maybe madness we shall see. We just had the qualifying session done, and we will take you through the grid at the warm-up lap, so then we will talk more about it. Yeah, we're over halfway this season, nearly having the second break of the season, but yeah, we still need to do Hungary and I believe Spa before we've got the summer break. So yeah, all to fight for. If we look at the championship, we currently have got Simon Frelick at the lead with 138 points, and Luke Maguire with 121 points. So they are. Luke Maguire is still a bit off, but yeah, it's within a win for Luke Maguire. So all to fight for. And then in third position in the championship, we've got Jan Grankvist with Louis Bickers in P4 and Pascal Polens also with 88 points, more or less, in P4. So it's all interesting. And yeah, we will see what this race tonight can add to that. Who will be the coming out as the best one here at Hungary. So this is a bit of a strange track if you look at all the other tracks of the calendar. Maybe you can see it a bit like Monaco, but this is a bit more wider than Monaco. But of course, it's really has got a lot of corners, and tire wear most of the times is quite difficult. And we're already going for the people that going to the grid. So yeah, we're waiting for that. So I believe they now have got a minute to line themselves up for the start of the formation lap. I believe I had my live timing open, but I believe I clicked it away again. So I believe our grid of today contains of 23 drivers from various of nationalities. That is what makes GPV great, because we've got drivers from everywhere and also teams from everywhere. So let's see what it will be. Okay, how long do we have? I've got 10 minutes for the end, and then we go for the warm-up lap. Okay, the first cars are rolling, and we're now waiting for the starting grid. So it's Jan Grankvist on pole position, with Pascal Polens in second position, Sandeep Singh in third position, and Simon Frelick, our championship leader, in P4. Then we've got Lewis Bickers in P5 with Luke Maguire, in P6 with Chris Butcher in P7, and Jack Mayer in P8. In 9th position it's Joseph Herlock, and then in 10th position is Roberto Pignataro, with Fabian Sirzik in P11 and Fabian Balle in P12. Then we've got Michael Ayers only in P13 with Mateusz Guzowski in P14, Adriano Opesini in P15, and Stanislav Meel in P16. In 17 we've got Tom van der Voort with Silver Joffert in 18th position, Noah Tumala in 19th, and Dylan Platt in P20. Then in P21st we've got Ben Willis with Alexander Rogosa in P22nd, and the last position is for Maxi Giesinger. So yeah, like I said, 23 drivers on this grid, and only 15 can score points here. Points, like always, are counting from 25 for the winner, and going down to 1 point for P15. Here you see the selected tires. You see a lot of red tires for the top 5. Then we've got both Maguire and Butcher from THR with the yellow tire, so that's very interesting, and then the rest on the red tire. And then outside of the top 10 we've got a lot of harder compounds. So let's see what is the best strategy here, because Maguire and Butcher are on a different strategy than the top 5, so let's see how that will turn out for them, and if they actually have a big benefit of that, or maybe that it was the wrong choice. So I guess they do it for a reason, so maybe they test it and they think they will gain massively from it. We're waiting for everybody to line up. It's nearly that time again that we start, and yeah, I believe everybody is now locked in. Now we're waiting for the lights to go on for the 10th round of the championship. Waiting a bit longer. Hope everybody is locked in well in the grid slot. There we go. We see 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. The 10th round of the championship is go. And who's got the best start? Let's see. I think it's a very good start from Simon Frelick. Already past Sandeep Singh. Oh, and will Simon Frelick go around the outside? He tries. But it's still Jan Grankvist who leads out of turn 1, followed by Pascal Polens. Then it's Simon Frelick, Sandeep Singh, who is smoking a bit in P4. Luke Maguire comes around the outside to P4. Oh, and a crash! It is Sandeep Singh crashes with Lewis Bickers. Sandeep Singh is around, and he is already turned, and he is in last position. But did he lose a front wing? No. So no terminal damage, but this hurt a lot. Yeah, and I still believe that car is wounded. So this was very unlucky. Let's see how this will go. Do we have any further crashes? Not that I'm aware of. Oh, a lot of big fights in the second sector with Chris Butcher and Lewis Bickers who are fighting for P8. So let's see who's the biggest net gainer. I think it's Luke Maguire on his yellow tires, already in P4, and that make it very interesting now for the at least already for the rest of the race. Let's see if Sandeep will go to the pits. Not yet. So after 1 lap, it's Jan Grankvist who leads. Then it's Pascal Polens in second, Simon Frelick in third, and Luke Maguire in fourth. And the gaps already are quite big. You just see like Jan Grankvist pushing like there is no tomorrow to keep Pascal Polens out of DRS, and Pascal Polens looks to be doing the same to Simon Frelick. So gaps are quite big already. While Jack Mayer, I believe he started in P9 or P10. He already is in P5 with Joseph Herlock in P6 and Michael Ayers in P7. So who were the biggest losers there? I think Lewis Bickers also was one of the losers of this start. I think he hit Sandeep Singh there, and at least had a bit of problems to yeah, go again. But he's still in P9, so nothing lost there. And the top 10 now is being closed by Adriano Opacini. So that's all good. Let me see. Well, I see a rear wing lost from Silver Joffert. Silver Joffert lost a rear wing. So does Ben Willis. So we've got more problems. So 2 guys already lost rear wings, and Ben Willis actually a front wing. So drama for Ben Willis and drama for Silver Joffert. This is of course not what you want, and now they need to bring it to the pits. But will they then continue, or do they already want to save the engine? Oh yeah, loads of problems with Silver Joffert and Ben Willis to at least keep the car in a straight line at the moment. So yeah, early drama already for multiple people. But yeah, the most interesting one who got a bit of unluck is Sandeep Singh in that second corner. Of course, he will look into that once he's out of the car, what actually happened there. So for now, for Sandeep, he needs to put his head down and push as hard as he can to get some points in the end. Well, I'm looking if we've got more info. No, I believe not. So we've now got Ben Willis and Silver Joffert in the pits. So I fear that will be a lengthy pit stop. Maybe they can get out of the pits before they get lapped, but I think that would be very tight. And young Grandfist just checked out at the moment, so the Super Venturi car already had pole position, just did a great start and just checked out. And I believe Ben Willis just gets out just before getting lapped, and actually now gets lapped by Jan Grandfist. Well, but I believe we're now following Chris Butcher. Chris Butcher, who's going to try to overtake Michael Ayres, actually goes for it. Can he make it stick? He will try. He's got DRS, but Michael Ayres has got the inside. I think Michael Ayres still has got this. Oh, they tried. And Michael Ayres stays ahead for now, but that was the first, the first actual try from Chris Butcher to pass Michael Ayres. So that was an interesting thing already. But yeah, Michael is of course trying everything to keep that position, and let's see how it will go. Currently trying to look at the gap. And Jan Grandfries already got a 3-second gap on Pascal Polen, so that's very interesting. Is Jan actually pushing his tires so hard, or is Pascal actually saving them a bit more? Because 3-second gap is quite big already in these early stages. But maybe that's the strategy they thought of. We'll look at the straight if we see an overtake. No, Maguire is too far away from Frelick. Chris Butcher will try it again on Michael Ayres. He's got DRS. I think some push to pass. He now is trying it. Oh, very deep from Chris Butcher, but he makes it. He makes it, and he passes Michael Ayres from for P7. So Chris Butcher now in P7. Well, we've got a good fight from P11, 12, and 13. It's Noortamala against Fabian Suzik, and Fabian Suzik was passed by Noortamala, but now he got past him again. And also Senna Stoffmail just checked in this fight. He's currently in 14th position. I checked all 23 cars still in the race, with 2 cars now lapped. But of course the race is long, so I think they want to make sure they can get as far in the race to get some data as well. Actually, Ben Willis has got a bigger problem because he's driving slowly, or did he just all let him go? Oh, this was very interesting. So Ben Willis actually let the whole group of cars go, but Silver Joffert was hiding in that group, so he said, okay, P22 now is mine. So yeah, Silver Joffert now passed Ben Willis, so that will be I think already an interesting fight. Well, now Silver Joffert now needs to go out of his throttle to let some drivers pass. So I think Silver Joffert and Ben Willis will be ending up close to each other again. I saw a bit of a tail wiggle from Michael Ayers just now, but all is still fine. But we're now following Luke Maguire, while we have got yellow at sector R, I believe. Let me see, it's Maxi Giesinger, and Giesinger spun into turn 2, but he can, he can go again, and lost loads of time, unfortunately, but still in the race. So Maxi Giesinger now in P21st. Well, I already see we've got a bit of groups forming. I think there's a big group starting from Roberto Pignataro in P11. And there's a whole DRS train all the way to P14. Well, I believe we will see an overtake from P14. It's Senna Stoffmel against Noah Tamala. And there he goes, Senna Stoffmel, Noah Tamala. Oh, they nearly touched, but Senna Stoffmel goes to P13. Well done from the Belgian, who passes, I believe, Noah Tamala is from Finland. So, good fight. And maybe Noah Tamala can actually get back to Senna in the next lap. Well, I see that we might have a problem with Jack Mayer. Jack Mayer just retired. He was in P5 for Super Venturi. I have no idea what just happened there, because he just retired as the first retirement, and he was in a very good position for the team, and they already lost one car. I am not sure what happened with Jack Mayer. Oh, heartbreak for Jack Mayer and heartbreak for Super Venturi. Maybe we can ask what happened there. Yeah, let me see if I can find that out. But yeah, Jack Mayer is our first retirement of the race. Unfortunately, drove a lot of races, but now he's out. Well, we had a great battle from our P7. Well, I'm hearing that his Jack Mayer's screen just went blank or something, something like that, and that's why he retired. So unfortunately, a problem which forced him out, so that's a big shame. Well, Maxi Giesinger also is out of the race, so we now got 2 retirements already. Unfortunately, they both parked the car and, were forced to retire. So that's a big shame already. But yeah, we've still got 21 drivers in the race, so that's pretty good. And we already have 9 laps completed, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Yes, 9 laps completed. Well, we've got a battle for third. It's Luke Maguire against Simon Frelek. Maguire is trying a lot to pass Simon Frelek, but I think Simon Frelek will defend the inside. Luke Maguire goes around the outside, but is there grip enough? No, there's not grip enough for Luke Maguire to do that. Maybe if Luke Maguire was on the red tire, he could have had more grip there, but now of course he's also on a less grippy tire, so yeah, for now he couldn't pass there, but yeah, he's pushing to get past Frelek, but let's see how that goes. I saw Chris Butcher just now also with a bit of a rear sliding, so I see a little bit of a rear sliding at the moment. We've got somebody off, I believe it's Bickers. Yeah, Lewis Bickers is off, and Lewis Bickers lost his front wing, so another type of drama for Lewis Bickers. Oh yeah, and in this twisty section, yeah, he just have no front downforce anymore because of the wing loss. So yeah, costly mistake from Bickers, who is doing so well in the championship. He sees all those cars passing him already, and then he's not even at the pits. and we go back for the battle of third. It's Luke Maguire. Can he now pass Simon Frelick? Yeah, he tries it, but Simon Frelick is parking his car at all the right spots. So that's at least very good. Yeah, and still, no, Luke can't pass for now. So I think Luke will play the longer game if he can't pass with it now in like 1 or 2 laps. Then I think he needs to play the longer game with his tire advantage he has. And Lewis Bickers actually retired. Lewis Bickers retired from the race, so he thought it was not worth it anymore to go for more laps. So Lewis Bickers is our third retirement of the race, and that promotes Ben Willis and Silver Joffert up 1 spot again. So yeah, they still stay driving, and yeah, Lewis Bickers is out, unfortunately, of this race. So yeah, I would say loads of drama at the beginning of this race. Let's see how this will continue. I saw a tail wiggle from Simon Frelick, and now Luke Maguire, now he will be close enough with DRS to pass. And Luke Maguire goes to 3rd position because of a rear sliding of Simon Frelick. So he tried everything, Simon, to get a great exit out of the last corner, but yeah, this was a bit too much, and yeah, needed to correct the car, which made it very easy for Luke Maguire to pass. And now I would like to see what can Luke Maguire do with Pascal Pollens. Can he catch him, or yeah, we shall see if he can catch him easily or not. Well, I believe we had our first few pit stops, Tom van der Voort and Roberto Pignataro, who went for their first pit stop. Roberto Pignataro now came out in 15th position, and Tom van der Voort in 18th position. Now looking at the gaps, you can see that as well. And the gap from Jan Granqvist to Pascal Pollens stayed around 3 seconds, and actually Jan Granqvist now is in the pits, so pit stop for our leader Jan Granqvist. Let's see how that goes for him. And I believe Simon Frelick, yeah, he already is following him, so that's very interesting. Where will they come out? Will they come out in traffic? Good pit stop from Jan Granqvist. Where will he come out? Jan Granqvist will come out in a bit of traffic, so not sure if that was the right call, but yeah, of course he had 3 seconds. But yeah, a bit of traffic to work with. And Simon Frelick just came out in P13, just behind Silver Joffert. But Silver Joffert is of course a lapped car, so he's got a bit more of free air for the upcoming 1 or 2 laps. But we shall see how that will go. We're already seeing Luke Maguire getting closer and closer to Pascal Pollens. Yeah, Luke Maguire is now pushing those tires as well. But Pascal Pollens now is leading. Will he then go into the pits right away, or will he wait longer? No, Pascal Pollens will go into the pits. So that will give the lead to Luke Maguire. Pascal Pollens, yes. Now he is on his limiter. And let's see what Pascal Pollens comes out. I would say it will be between Jan Granqvist and Simon Frelick, but maybe driving longer has been a bit of beneficial. We shall see. A great stop from the Road to Formula team. Where will he get out? Yes, ahead of Simon Frelick, but behind Jan Granqvist, who already passed, I believe, 2 or 3 cars. And Jan Granqvist now is actually looking at Fabian Balla to pass him there. Of course, Jan Granqvist now with his new tires is much quicker than Fabian. But yeah, he cannot just pass everywhere. And I think Jan knows that. Jan needs to wait for the right opportunity to overtake. Don't rush it, I would say. But of course, Jan knows it much better than me what he should do. So, but I think he will wait until the end of the lap. It's very interesting. Also very interesting, we now have got both the THR 1 and 2 with their medium strategy. With Michael Ayers now in 3rd position, with Adriano Opportini in 4th, with Senna Stoffmel in P5. Waiting for Jan Grankvist to overtake Fabian. I think it should be quite easy with the tire advances he's got and the DRS. Yeah, you already see how much faster he is. Fabian knows that and drives his own race, and Jan Grankvist now going to P6. P6 for Jan Grankvist. Next target for Jan Grankvist is Senna Stoffmel, who of course also didn't pit. But Senna drives in a quite decent 5th position now. Let's see if for the likes like Senna Stoffmel, if he actually gains from going longer. So that's the interesting thing. Is this the right strategy, the better strategy than all those earlier stoppers? Well, I see Ben Willis also retired from the race, so we now got 4 retirements in this race. And Silver Joffert is the one that now is in P19 with 1 lap down. And then we've got Tom van der Voort, Fabian Sirzik and Sandeep Singh, all now not in the point scoring positions. While we've got Adriano Opportini in the pits, he was in P4. So he made his tires go, I believe, 15 laps. I would say that's quite decent. Alright, will he come out to... He will come out in P13 just ahead of his teammate Roberto Pignataro. So now Adriano, with his new tires, he can push towards the other guys. So let's see which drivers are currently going pretty long. It's of course both the THRs on the medium strategy. Michael Ayers in P3 is going long. Senna Stoffmel is going long on his harder tires, and Fabian Ballet, Mateusz Guzowski and Alexander Rogoza are going longer as well, with Dylan Platt as well. So we've got like half of the grid that goes on a more earlier stop, and other half of the grid goes for more like the harder tire to bring it further into the race. We've got a double pit stop from THR. Will that go well? Oh, that was perfect synergy, because that was Luke was not nearly done, and then we had his teammate there. I think Chris actually lost maybe a half a second there, but it was not that much. It's double stack pit stop. That is quite interesting, but they did that quite well. Oh, and Luke McGuire had a very interesting entry, and Alexander Rogoza, Pascal Polens and Dylan Platt were close to him, but he still stayed ahead. So I think it was elbows out for Luke, who knew he couldn't lose too much positions. And Luke now went to which tire? It's also the harder tire. And Chris Butcher also to the harder tire. So our new leader now is Michael Ayers, who now completes the 16th lap of this race, with Jan Grankvist already in P2. And what is the difference between Michael Ayers and Jan Grankvist on lap times? It's 8/10 the last lap, so 8/10 difference between Jan Grankvist and Michael Ayers. Oh, and a big mistake from Michael Ayers actually. into turn 2. He had a bit of a tail wiggle, like I saw a lot of drivers already have. So it is quite difficult, this track, to keep the car in line, especially when the tires get older, I believe. And I see Luke Maguire actually passing Mateusz Guzowski for P5. That's very interesting. I believe we had a crash, I believe. Yeah, it's one of the cars is out. It's Fabian Sirsik who went out. I believe he had a very hard crash into the wall, and yeah, I believe the engine cut out instantly. So we got another retirement. So this Hungarian Grand Prix is a real shocker at the moment. So yeah, just want to know what my cameraman says of all of this. Cameraman, you've got a quote? Yeah, well, yeah, I believe, yeah, my cameraman thinks there's also loads of things happening, so, yeah, we don't know where to look at times, and we already have got Luke Maguire now into P4, so he's making the best of his harder tires and now jumps to P4. So Luke Maguire is on the hunt, yeah, and Luke Maguire easily now, yeah, I think in net P2. Let's see where the rest of the drivers are now. We already having nearly another Luke Maguire overtake for P3. It's Senna Stoffmail who, yeah, is still driving on those harder tires, so he's actually doing a very interesting strategy. And Luke Maguire now in P4. Actually, Senna Stoffmail goes quite defensive. He just thinks, no, I'm racing this guy. He could have won a few races this year, but oh, Luke Maguire goes very late, a bit too late maybe. In my opinion, that was a typo and a half, but yeah, he doesn't pass him. Brakes just a little bit later, but no, he's still there. He is still there. Ooh, that was a bit of an ambitious move from Luke Maguire, because that was really a deep move from him. But yeah, he of course knew he had the maybe the advantage under braking with his new tires. So Luke Maguire now in P3, while Senna Stoffmail now is struggling a bit in P4. I just see that car of Senna Stoffmail when I actually watch him now. Yeah, the car is stepping out like nearly at every corner, so I think he will be pitting soon. Well, we've got another fight. It's Chris Butcher against Alexander Rogoza. Alexander Rogoza didn't pit, and Chris Butcher did pit, so yeah, it's of course big advantage for Chris Butcher here. But he didn't pass it, and I know from experience Alexander Rogoza will try everything to stay ahead, and yeah, he has got loads of tools to do that. But yeah, without DRS it will be difficult for Alexander to stay ahead, because there we have Chris Butcher opens his DRS. I think he uses a bit of a boost. Will Rogoza go defensive? No, he just lets it happen, and Chris Butcher now moves up to P7 with Alexander Rogoza in P8. We will have some mid-race interviews to ask some maybe former drivers and team managers what they think of the current race and how they look maybe into their season. So I hope we will have interviews soon. But we're now currently looking at Senna Stoffmail going into the pits. So he is from P4. Let's see where he comes out of, because I think he might have lost quite a bit by going longer, but it might be okay. Alexander Rogosa is in the pits as well. Senna Stoffmail now leaves his place. Where does he come out? Already behind Sandeep Singh and behind Mateusz Wizowski. Just, yes, so it's P15 for Senna Stoffmail, or will it be P40 for Senna Stoffmail? It will be P15 for now. And Alexander Rogosa did come out in P17. We now will have our first interview mid-race. Let's drag him in. And we now have got, as an interview, I would say now former Superlights driver, Heigo Poom. Heigo, can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
Hello, Heigo. So, mid-race interview. We did not do this much before. Yeah, can you tell us a bit about why you're not racing? Because I believe everybody who normally watch this race, they know that you're one of the drivers on the grid, but you're missing now. Why is that?
I got an offer to move up to Super League. As simple as that. It was tough to make the decision, but Epic was losing two of the drivers to retirement, and the spots needed to be filled. And I thought, why not? I have driven in Superlights for ever since 2019, I think. Yeah, for 2019 onwards, I've just been driven here. Okay. So I wanted to try something new.
Okay, a bit of unfinished business in your end, maybe. So yeah, moving up. How would you rate the performances of your replacement driver and the other one? I believe the team which you left actually signed 2 new drivers recently. How do you think they are getting on so far?
Yeah, so we have a brand new lineup, Senna and Silver. Senna has been doing really well. He came in last round properly, replacing Pascal because Pascal his real life schedule changed. He is our current peak point scorer. He has a really good handling on the car. I'm happy with his tire wear and everything. Silver, he's currently basically learning the car still. I'm not putting expectations on him right just yet, but looking at how he has done in other series, including series outside of GPV, I do have high expectations later on in the season. I think he can score some good points for us.
Well, yeah, I am. I'm happy you said that, because I think we see that as well. I think both of them do a good job with the experience they of course have in the series. So it's not easy to jump in Superlights just out of the blue. You can be very talented, but this series is quite difficult. So you moved to Epic. So yeah. You're also prepared for Hungary. How different is the preparation from Lights towards Super League? Is it quite similar, or is it a little bit different?
The basics are the same. The cars are pretty... if you can drive the Superlights car well, you can drive the Super League car well. So the main thing is just a heavier fuel. You have around 20 more liters to deal with. And the general downforce is quite a lot higher. The difference for me is the car balance currently. The way both teams have upgraded their cars, TTF is a lot different. So I've been working towards getting used to it. And of course the overall competition in Super League is a lot higher at the very top. So trying to compete with them is not easy.
Yeah, and now you moved up yourself to the Super League. Did you also look at the current calendar when you made the decision? Maybe you thought like, oh, the next few tracks I actually like a lot, so maybe moving to Super League on going on to tracks I actually like. Was that something you kept in your mind, or was it like, no, I'm just doing this whatever the tracks we will have?
My initial plan was to use all of the emergency contracts, basically to just see how the car is, how the league is, see where I stand, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed it enough, even though I'm gonna be lower down in the positions at the beginning. I enjoyed it enough to then make a decision, because if I wasn't gonna take it now, I probably wouldn't have had the seat later. Because the team needed to fill the spots, and the track-wise, Hungary is it's decent for me, but Spa has historically been one of my weak tracks. But I'm mostly looking forward to the summer break. That gives me a buffer to get the car sorted and get more in line with others.
Yeah. Well. Okay, I can really understand that. So, Heiko, thanks for being here and doing that interview. So we now know why we're missing you here in this series, and yeah, the very best of luck in the Super League, and hope you can succeed there as well. And yeah, you built this up beautifully in the last couple of seasons, and hopefully you can build something up for Super League as well. I know you're a hard worker, so I hope for the best.
Yeah,
well,
thank you.
In the meantime, we had plenty of action now on the track, while we've got Michael Ayers actually fighting really hard with, I believe it was Adriano Opacini. So yeah, loads of fights during our interview. So good to see. So thanks, Heiko, for being here, and
thank you for having me.
hope we speak you later.
Yeah, thank you.
So that was our first interview of the mid-race, and let's see, we already have had 26 laps completed, nearly 27, and Jan Grankvist is still leading, but look-wise seems to have pretty decent pace. I believe he is a little bit faster in the current lap times than Jan, but Jan still has got this more or less under control, and I think his gap is still 3 seconds to Luke, with Pascal Polos now in third position, Simon Frelick in fourth, Chris Buescher in fifth, and Josef Hurlock now in P6, but he is being chased by Marco Ayers. Marco Ayers is taking a lot of risk there at the exit of the final corner. He's now going for the overtake. It's P7 for Marco Ayers, and now it is P6. Marco Ayers overtaking Josef Hurlock. And yeah, Michael Ayers seems just to have a bit more speed when it matters here. But let's see if Josef Hurlock can stay on his tail for maybe 1 or 2 laps, or maybe longer. We shall see. And in all of this, we've got both the Go Speed cars now in P8 and P9. And if they can make this work until the finish, then I think the team boss and the whole team will be really happy with this result, because they need a good result. Because we didn't always have the best of results and the best of luck, but for now it seems to be going quite decent. With Fabian Bale now in P10, with Sandeep Singh in 11th. Mateusz Guzowski is chasing Sandeep Singh in P12, with Senna Stoffmail in 13th. I believe Senna Stoffmail a few laps ago went for a bit of a attack, but half spun there, so he needed to fight back to the tail of Mateusz Guzowski, and now already found that back. Currently the last 2 drivers in point scoring positions are Noah Tsumala and Tom van der Voort, with Alexander Rogoza hunting down the point scoring positions, and Silver Joffert now a little bit behind, a lap behind. Well, we've got Dylan Platt actually retiring from the race, so that means we've already got 6 retirements in this race, so it's quite a lot. But I think a lot of drivers just said like, yeah, this is I will not get points, so let's save our components for future races. That's something what happens a lot in the league, that people think 1 or 2 or 5 steps ahead. So that's good to see. I believe the field is quite spread out at the moment, except for maybe the battle for P11 and the battle for P14. So we keep that in mind and see what will happen. Now looking at the lap times of our 2 leaders, Jan Grankvist and Luke Maguire. And Luke Maguire this lap was 1/10 faster. While we now see Alexander Rogoza did go into the point scoring position. He passed Noah Zamala for P15. And if my memory serves me right, Alexander pitted quite late, so he might have the better tires than even Tom van der Voort. And this also one compound softer, so I think Alexander also wants to overtake Tom van der Voort. Let's see if he can do that. There he comes. Oh, bit of a fight there, but Alexander passes for P14. Tom van der Voort tries to get back. Oh, will Tom van der Voort go for a move? He will try it, but no. Alexander got the place now, and I think Tom van der Voort just, yeah, he now accepts it and moves on. I believe he already had some blue flags for that was for Silver Joffert. Now we look if we see some other fights. We now see Luke Maguire, and the current gap is, you see, 2.6 seconds. And last lap, Jan Grankvist was a bit quicker than Luke Maguire. So Jan Grankvist at the moment, he's got a fine margin to play with, but he's still going in his favor. But now the question is, when will they go for their second pit stop? Will they go for a second pit stop? So that will be very, very interesting to see. And yeah, now you just saw the gap there. Luke Maguire has got a focus point on Jan Grankvist, but Jan Grankvist has got, of course got the the lead and the everything what he needs now. So let's see how close this will be and how fast they will be in this lap on comparison. It's very interesting to see if I look at the sectors. So the first sector, Jan Grankvist was 2/10 quicker. The second sector, it was Luke Maguire who was 2/10 quicker. So yeah, cars are pretty similar at the moment. And we'll wait to see what the lap times are. Jan Grankvist is again 1.5 tenths quicker than Luke Maguire. So yeah, it goes a bit up and down with those two in terms of the actual gap. I believe it was 3 seconds before, then it was 2.5, and now it's 2.7, 2.8 again. So they're all fighting really hard for it. But you're also getting closer and closer to Szymon Frelick. Szymon Frelick, of course, he wants to score as good as he can because his main rival in the championship, Luke Maguire, is now ahead of him, so he will gain points on Szymon Frelick if the race ends like it does now. So yeah, Chris Butcher can help his teammate enormously to overtake Szymon Frelick here. But yeah, is he able to overtake Szymon Frelick? Because Szymon Frelick is known about his excellent car placement, so let's see if Chris Butcher actually will have that advantage. There he goes. Oh, a bit of understeer, a bit of front wiggle, but there he goes. He's in the slipstream. He's got the DRS open. We'll try it around the outside with Frelick. No, not enough grip on the tires. Simon Frelick is defending. Chris Butcher, quite a good exit, but now he can't overtake Frelick. So it's still Simon Frelick in P4 and Chris Butcher in P5, but you just see Butcher is pushing really hard. So will this be a matter of time before Chris Butcher overtakes Simon Frelick? We shall see. Simon Frelick now still is ahead. And if the race finishes like this, then Luke Maguire will gain 7 more points in the championship, if I'm not mistaken. And then the gap would only be, I believe, 10 points. So that will be very interesting, especially if Luke Maguire can get closer to Jan Granqvist. Of course, then Luke, if he would win the race and Simon stays in P4, he will gain another 5, so that it will be really, really close. But for now, it's still Jan Granqvist, then Luke Maguire and Pascal Pollens. A bit of a quiet race, Pascal Pollens, but a very good P3 so far. Chris Butcher is a bit more behind on the last lap, so no chance to overtake here. While he's closing in a bit. There's now in P6, we overheard like in P7. Both the Ghost Speed cars of Opacini and Pignataro in P8 and P9, and Fabian Ballet in P10. Sandeep Singh now in P11, so that's quite decent after his first lap incident. Matthias Gazowski and Sen Stoffmail are charging a bit to get past of Sandeep Singh. For now they can't do it. Marvort now in P14 and Alexander Rogoza now rounds on the point scoring positions. Well, the last few laps Luke Maguire was a bit quicker again, and the gap was brought back from 2.7 to 2.4, and let's see what this lap does. It is now 1.88. It's half a second advantage for Luke Maguire this lap, so he now really got it down. Would that indicate Luke Maguire might be just before his pit stop, so that he said let him go, push all out, and then we go for a pit stop, try to undercut our rival? I'm not sure, but the fact is Luke Maguire now is gaining quite a bit, and Chris Butcher is also gaining a bit on Simon Frelick, but still not past. We now got Adriano Opacini in the pits for his second pit stop. I would say is quite early, and Sandeep Singh is in as well from P13. Just loses out to Tom van der Voort and comes out in P13, but he gets ahead of Silver Joffert, of course, who is a lapped car. Sandeep Singh comes out in P15. Let's see what the next lap is between Jan Granqvist and Luke Maguire. Again, it is 6/10, and now Luke Maguire is on 1.2 seconds of Jan Granqvist. So he really closed the gap the last couple of laps. But will we see an overtake? And let's see, actually Pascal Pollens is also going faster than Jan Granqvist this lap. See, we've got Frelick into the pits now, and now he will go out of the pits. Will he be ahead of Roberto Pignataro? Yes, he will just be ahead of Roberto Pignataro. So no traffic from Simon Frelick. Very interesting. And now we've got Luke Maguire really close to Jan Granqvist. Will it be overtake on track, or will it be off track and in the pits? That will be interesting. I think if I know Luke Maguire a bit, he wants to do a clean overtake on track. But what will happen now? What will the strategist says? Well, I believe he had a bit of a mistake. I believe Noah Tsamala just lost his front wing, and Jan Granqvist now is into the pits. So he didn't want to go on the fight on track, so Jan Grönqvist is in. And Guatemala as well, so actually you will now see both cars, and yeah, Jan Grönqvist now already is out of his spot again. Pascal Pollens also is in the pits. So that changes the order a bit. And Jan Grönqvist actually loses out to Michael Ayers. So he will be having a bit of traffic maybe on his out lap. Maybe, yeah, it would not be that bad. Pascal Pollens came out just behind Josef Herlock in P6. But ahead of Simon Frelick. But I do believe Simon Frelick actually gained a bit of time on Pascal Pollens. So maybe it was not the best of stops from the team there. But for now it's again both the THR first and second. Well, we now got Luke Maguire in, so he is responding to Jan Grönqvist. Oh, he's pushing so hard going into the pits. So who will be ahead at the end of turn 1? Will it be Luke Maguire or will it be Jan Grönqvist? Oh, it will be mighty close, but I think Jan Grönqvist with his earlier stop might have gained it, and now it will be very close. It will be even closer than I thought. There they go, it will nearly go 3 wide. Jan Grönqvist with a double overtake. Oh, he got squeezed. Michael Ayers pushed Jan Grönqvist a bit out of the track, but he got like, well, how would you say, a bit like hamburgered, and he was like the meat between the, between the fighters. And wow, it was a very interesting pit exit, and Jan Grönqvist lost out there. Yeah, he tried to go the wrong way, and then you might end up without a room. But that was a very interesting pit exit. I think we will hear more about that pit exit for times to come. But it was interesting. Well, that meant it was really close. So yeah, we've got a new, I would say, net leader. That's Luke Maguire. And what can Jan Grönqvist do now? Can he get back to that or not? Well, we've now got Chris Butcher in the pits, so Chris Butcher will go into the pits for his final pit stop. Let's see where he comes out. Pollens and Frelick pass. Yeah, they both pass him. And Frelick is all to play for in P4 or P3. Well, Michael Ayers is still not pitted for the second time. If I look at the footage, I do believe Jan Grönqvist didn't give up for now, so he's still going to hunt down Luke Maguire. We now see Chris Butcher. He's now going to work really hard to get on the on the rear of Simon Frelick, but he was on the rear a couple of laps ago, so the pitch-up strategy was quite interesting from Simon Frelick, but he gained quite a bit on Chris Butcher. Well, we will have another interview ready. We now will have an interview with Tyrone from TTF Racing. So let's drag him in. Tyrone, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, so the mid-race interviews, we're not doing that often. Just thought it was nice to have a bit of a talk with you. We had a talk with your former driver Heigo. So Tyrone, how's the season for TTF so far? How's it going? I know you've got new drivers. Can you explain a bit how the season went for you now?
I mean, it's been a mixture of up down, with like Pascal with his the promotion recently can't be here all the time, so it's quite difficult for him to get time in the car. So we had to go through quite a few drivers. But the main positives of the season has to be Heiko and his performance. He just have his best season in Superlights, and he's an amazing driver. Proved they got a massive talent in the wet, and after all this time, he got onto the podium and missed out on a few occasions on the win.
Yeah, I missed out on wins on occasions, but overall, with your new driver lineup with Senna and Silver, what do you expect from them? Is it like building a house? You need to make sure everything is good from the ground up, and then you can build on it. You need to give them time to finish the product which you just started with them.
Yeah, the rest of the season is all about getting them comfortable with the Superlights. As you know, we've seen like Sunil's talents. I mean, like both, me and Heiko have been highly impressed with Sunil's performance in Monaco, considering they had a 3 hours practice, but managed to score points. It's quite impressive. And then with Silva, I've been quite impressed with his point scoring ability, with his raw racecraft. He got definitely a lot of talent. So this season is all about getting them comfortable in Superlights, get them up to speed. Pretty much Heiko and Pascal go be working together behind the scenes to help with these 2-9 drivers, and I've got every confidence that they could be the new stars of the future if they put in the hard work and willing to put in the effort in that's required to be successful in this category, because we know we've got quite amazing array of talent in this league, and we won't get far if we won't put in effort. But I feel confident that with these two drivers, they will do bits in this league.
Yeah, agreed. So yeah, looking forward to see what your drivers, your new drivers can do. TTF now is in 9th position in the teams championship. What are the ambitions for this year? What are their aims for this season, for the remainder of the season?
So pretty much the original aim is to get the team into the top 10. That is still the target. I do believe that we can still achieve the target with our 2 drivers. Yeah, and then moving up. Okay, Tyrone, thanks very much for being here for the interview, and we wish you and the team the best of luck. Thank you very
for
much.
the remainder.
I hope everyone enjoyed the fantastic race action that we're seeing here today.
Yeah, well, I hope so, because I'm actually, as a commentator, I'm enjoying this race a lot. But yeah, we need to do some interviews as well, mainly because I'm alone as well, and then you need to have something to talk about. And I think this interview with people who are knowing how Superlights works, I think that's something we want to do more often. So, Tyrone, thanks for being there.
No worries.
So that was Tyrone from TTF. Great to hear from him, and what his thoughts were about his drivers and about how it went so far. And we didn't see that much changing actually during our interview, but what we saw that Jan Grandfrix is really close to Luke Maguire, so Jan Grandfrix is not giving up on this, and he wants to go for a full charge on Luke Maguire. I think lap times are more or less equal, but actually Jan Grandfrix is much quicker this lap, but maybe also because he's got the DRS. Goes closer and closer to Luke Maguire, but Luke Maguire still has got the lead, while we now have Michael Ayres pits from P3. It promotes Pascal Polens to P3, Simon Frederick to P4, and Chris Butcher to P5. I've also got Fabian Bale in from P7. S is in, and Micro S is out of the pits. This will mean that Joseph Herlock now goes to P7, Adriano Opportuni P8, and Roberto Pignataro in P10. And Sandeep Singh actually will jump to P11. I think it will be close between Sandeep and Fabian, but I think Sandeep could just have this or not. We'll have the warmer tires, will be having the inside. Fabian is still there, but Sandeep can't do it. Or will he go for it? He will go for it, brakes later. It's a great fight for P10, still worth 6 points, but Fabian stays ahead. And now Fabian has actually got a decent job, because Sandeep knows he needs to pass soon, because Fabian is on fresher tires but also on softer tires, so Sandeep can't hold on. No, Fabian now has been flown away with that, and I think the Sandeep will now have got difficulties to get on the back of Fabian again, because yeah, with new tires it's just the world is so much better when you've got new tires. Well, Simon Frelick still didn't pass for P3 on Pascal Pollens. Pascal Pollens is driving a really good race. And Jan Granqvist still didn't pass Luke Maguire, but they're getting close. Let's see if something will happen. See what the lap times currently are. It is a 1:18.5 for Luke Maguire and a 1:18.9 from Jan Granqvist. So this lap, Luke Maguire is loads quicker than Jan Granqvist, but Jan Granqvist brakes late, already gains a little bit of time back. But Simon Frelick in P4, yeah, he doesn't seem to be fast enough currently to pass Pascal Pollens. Well, we now see the numbers 1 and 2 here. This is how close it is. You just see Jan Granqvist is not out of it. And he is full in the hunt of this victory. But yeah, only 13 laps to go now. So we shall see who will have the better tires in the end, and who will have the maybe the more push to pass at the end, because I think that will be a thing what will be very interesting. You can, I believe, use a push to pass more or less as much as you want, as long as you have got it left. You awarded, I believe, 10 seconds every lap on push to pass, but you can choose to use more than 10 seconds if you would need it. So I am not sure when they deploy it, but it will be very interesting at the end to see if somebody has got it left, if we could see overtakes there. Unfortunately, we don't have a graphic when we can see when the drivers are currently using the push to pass. That would be great to have that, but currently I believe that's not possible. So now we just need to see who's got the best kills with push to pass, and yeah, we can't see that. While Pascal Pollens now not only got Simon Frelick on his tail, but also Chris Butcher has joined the group. So there is a three-way battle now for P4, 3, 4, and 5. We currently have got, let me see, both the Hyperion cars in P12 and P15. Reminder, they are currently at the bottom of the Teams Championship. and with scoring with both cars would be quite awesome for them, and I think a good race for them. So let's hope for Hyperion they can finish with both cars in the points. I think that's something they really need. We're on board with Chris Butcher, and you see how he can get really close to the car in front. I think because of the dirty air. Yeah, he's pushing really hard. Here now, you see him getting a bit closer, but yeah, for now he seems to be too far away to mount a challenge to overtake. And for Simon Frelek, of course, it's really important that he stays within 1 second of Pascal Pollens, because then he will get DRS, and if Simon Frelek gets DRS, actually that will help him massively on the straights to not get passed by Chris Butcher. But Chris Butcher actually is getting very close here now. All depends on here. Yeah, Simon's exit is nearly perfect, maybe a bit wide. And now they're all really fast on the straights, but yeah, Chris Butcher is too far away, so he can't pass. He's getting closer and closer to Simon Frelek. Like I said, Simon Frelek needs to stay within DRS. If he goes out of DRS, then I think it will be difficult. And Simon Frelek already is on 8/10. So Pascal Pollens is pushing really hard to push Simon Frelek out of DRS. And if Simon Frelek is out of DRS, then Simon Frelek has got a more than a problem, I would say. We currently also are looking at the current gap between Pascal Pollens and our leading duo. Pascal Pollens now is on 14.8, so let's say 15 seconds behind Luke and Jan. So that shows that they are those two are a bit on a league of their own this race. And Pascal only at 15 seconds, which is of course when you want to go for the win. 15 seconds is huge, but still ahead of nearly everybody else. So Pascal is doing a decent job. And if I look at Jan Grankvist to see what the gap is, Jan Grankvist is really pushing on Luke Maguire. Did we already see the last chapter of this battle, or will we see another battle for the lead? Will we see Jan Grankvist going for it, maybe into turn 1 with Luke Maguire? At least he's keeping Luke Maguire really honest, and I think that's very good to see. This is a fight like we want to see on this twisty track. That everybody is, at least for the lead, we've got a fight on our hands. We of course also saw in F1 a few days ago when we had also two teams at least at the beginning of the race. They were also very close, and that's I think really nice to see if you see two drivers battling for the best possible in this race, and that's of course the win. He's getting closer and closer, but Jan Grankvist just can't pass for now, and we already are in lap 15, so Jan doesn't have a lot of time left. For now it's all status quo, so it's Simon Frelek still in P4, Pascal Pollens does all have in his own hands for the podium. Chris Butcher now in P5. Michael Ayres just really relaxed in P6. So that's I would say nothing to gain, nothing to lose from Michael Ayres unless he would crash out. Joseph Hurlock in a decent P7 with Adriano Opportuni in P8. And there is, I believe, 1.5 seconds between Joseph Hurlock and Adriano Opportuni, but currently they are matching both same lap time, so Adriano is not gaining on Joseph Hurlock. But let's keep that in mind. some sectors you really see Grandfist closing up to Luke Maguire, but Luke Maguire seems to have it all under control. We didn't see, after Luke passed, after the pit stop, we didn't see a real chance for Jan to overtake. Will that still be happening, or will Luke, just have that little bit left so that Jan just can't pass? We shall see, because in certain sectors Luke is a bit faster, and in certain sectors and corners Jan is massively faster than Luke. So that is very interesting to see. Now go to the start-finish straight to finish lap 52. The rest for Jan again. But he again is too far away. Goes a bit for a look, but yeah, Luke Maguire knows and is not impressed, I guess. And now got Pascal Pollens in P3. Actually, Simon Frelek had a bit of a better lap, but he can't pass for P3. I think he's trying everything, but no, not now. Pascal Pollens has got it all under control at this moment of the race. And Chris Butcher, in his turn, cannot do anything with Simon Frelek. So they're all like, they're not making a lot of mistakes, and that's why Pascal, Simon and Chris are not actually going for an overtake, because they're all doing a very good job. I believe Adriano Opportuni is now actually gaining on P7 on Joseph Verloc. He was 3/10 quicker and is now on 1.2 seconds. So if Adriano can go get into DRS range of Joseph, then we might see an overtake from Adriano for P7, but let's wait for that. That actually will be happening. Well, I believe Sander Stoffmail just overtook Mateusz Guzowski for P13, and Sander now is in P12, hunting down Sandeep Singh, who's now in P11. Also currently looking at what the best lap is in this race so far. The fastest lap at the moment is a 1:17.9 from Chris Butcher, so he will get an extra point if he finishes in a point scoring position. Not sure if he will see that lap time actually getting beaten, unless somebody actually goes for new tires with less fuel, then you could see it. While I'm currently looking at the lap times of Luke Maguire and Jan Grunqvist, and actually my cameraman noticed it as well. They both posted the same lap time last time around, so I believe it was a 1:18.6, so they're more or less equal. So, but Jan wins in one sector, he loses in the other. Luke wins in the one sector, he loses in the other. So they keep it really, really honest. But now it will be interesting, because Luke Maguire now sees some traffic ahead, and while traffic normally tries to do their best to get out of the way, here in Hungary traffic can be a bit annoying, because you cannot just go offline at every corner. So let's see how this traffic, how the back markers will how they will let the drivers pass. I believe we've got Tom van der Voorde ahead, and Tom van der Voorde has got more than enough experience to know how to fix it. Tom didn't move for now, but maybe this is a good thing for Luke Maguire, because I think he will get DRS from Tom, so that actually is not, I think, the worst thing for him. Tom van der Voorde is actually still not letting them pass. Now he will let them pass. And we've got Jan Grunqvist. Oh, it's getting closer and closer. It's not a bad corner from Jan Grunqvist. Oh, Jan Grunqvist, brakes very late. Oh, he nearly loses the rear there. It was a mistake from Jan Grunqvist. I think he had too much overspeed, and he counted and braked a bit too late and actually lost the rear. And now Jan Grenqvist is maybe out of that second now. So a mistake from Jan Grenqvist. I think he was really pushing for that win, but yeah, the first real mistake I saw from Jan Grenqvist here. But he is not out of it, because Luke still needs to pass Noah for here on track. Well, Pascal Pollens is still holding on for P3, Simon on P4, but Simon Frelick is getting closer and closer, and Chris Butcher is also looking to see what is happening. Adriano Opacini isn't getting closer to Joseph Hurlock now, so that seems to be okay, while Fabian Bale just passed for P9 at Roberto Pignataro, so Roberto Pignataro on P10 with Fabian Bale in P9, and Sandeep Singh and Sander Stoffmail are also quite close to capitalize if something happens. Very good exit for Simon Frelick. No DRS for Pascal Pollens. Pascal Pollens, no, Simon Frelick is closer than he was before and goes defensive, but Simon Frelick can't pass for now. So the road to Formula car is still ahead, and it's the Royal Blue car who's still in P4. And with Luke Maguire potentially winning this race, he knows, Simon knows, he needs to get every point he can. Oh, and Chris Butcher is closer than ever to Simon Frelick. It's Chris Butcher. Can he go for a move? No, he can't. There is no room there. And Chris Butcher is still in P5, but he got a bit too close for comfort, I guess, for Simon Frelick. But it's going up and down for Simon Frelick. Then he's getting attacked, and then he's got a huge exit of a corner, and he's getting closer and closer to Pascal Pollens. I am not sure who will finish where. Will it be Pascal Pollens in P3? Will it be Simon Frelick in P3? Or will it be Chris Butcher in P3? I have no idea. Jan Grenqvist meanwhile is still trying to attack on Luke Maguire, but Luke Maguire has got it all under control. But yeah, Jan is just not close enough, so unless something strange happens, I think Luke has got it in the bag, but of course he needs to survive 2 more laps. Well, you now see people getting a bit more aggressive. They now know that every move they make now, if they can make it stick on a good way, then of course, then you might have those points in the bag. It's still close, and now actually Jan Grenqvist actually is losing a bit in this second sector. I think Jan Grenqvist gave up now, because he now actually is not directly on the tail of Luke Maguire anymore. Luke Maguire already had quite a good season, but also a season with ups and downs the whole season. He now starts his, I believe, his final lap of the race. Jan Grenqvist is still close, but no DRS for Jan Grenqvist, so the final lap of the race, another 4.4 kilometers of this race, and it could potentially bring the 4th win in 10 races in this series for Luke Maguire, but we're not there yet. Pascal Pollens is pushing really hard and still is in P3, Simon Frelick P4, Chris Butcher dropped a bit back in P5, and actually Sandeep Singh went to P10 in the closing stages, and now we've got Sander Stoffmail battling Roberto Pignataro, and I think Roberto Pignataro has got a bit of an issue with his tires. While Simon Frelick is still pushing everything he has for maybe a challenge for the final podium position. Of course, this in the championship, this can prove vital in the end. So we shall see if he can do it. But we're nearly at home. Nearly at home for Luke Maguire. He already won 3 races there. He needed to work for this with the alternative strategy. but he did it well. And after 58 laps, it's Luke Maguire who wins his 4th race of the season in a very honest battle with Jan Krankvist, who did an amazing job and was a bit unlucky when, at the pit stop after the pit stop of Luke Maguire. But yeah, fair first and second, and there is Pascal Polens. He needed to fight really hard for it, but he gets 3rd position with Simon Frelick P4, Chris Butcher in P5, and now it's waiting for Michael Ayres. Michael Ayres would of course never be happy with the 6th position, but is decent for the team, decent points. P6 in the back for Michael Ayres, and we're waiting for Red Arrow Racing, Joseph Herlock, who comes home in P7 to take 9 points away. Then we've got Adriano Oppicini in P8, a decent drive for him. Then we've got Fabian Ballet in P9. Sandeep Singh gets in the top 10 after a first lap spin. Senestov Mail in P11, and Roberto Pignataro lost out a bit in P12. Then we've got Mateusz Guzowski in P13, and Alexander Rogoza in P15. Rogoza was already lapped, so points for both the Hyperion cars, so that's very good for them. And I believe Tom van der Voort is the only one that still needs to finish, but he knows that he already has got P14 because the other ones were lapped multiple times. So here is your results. It's Luke Maguire, then Jan Grankvist, then Pascal Polens, Simon Frelick, Chris Butcher, Michael Ayres, Adriano Puccini, Joseph Herlock, Fabian Ballet, and Sandeep Singh. They round out the top 10. Then from 11 to 20, Senna Stoffmail, Roberto Pignataro, Mateusz Guzowski, Tom van der Voort, Alexander Rogoza, and then the 9-point scorers, we've got Noah Tamala and Sylvie Joffert. The DNFs in this race were Dylan Platt, Fabian Sirzik, Ben Willis, and the last 3, Lewis Bickers, Jack Mayer, and Maxi Giesinger. So this was our 10th race of the season, and yeah, it was quite an interesting one. A lot of strategy playing, and we're actually now seeing the calendar for the remainder of the Superlights Championship, and we're going to next to Spa in 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, 9th of August, and then we will have I guess a great race at Spa-Francorchamps, which is always providing for loads of interesting battles. Not only because we've got, of course, great corners like Eau Rouge, or that's Radion actually, but yeah. So let's see if we've got some guys to interview, and actually I believe we've got our pole position man and interviewer of the second finisher of the race. So let's drag him in. We've got Jan Grankvist here, and let's see if he can hear us. Jan, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
So, what a race we just saw again. I think it was a very honest and an interesting battle. You had pole. Can you tell us how your race was? When you got chased by Luke and the pass and everything, and what kind of feeling will you leave Hungary?
Yeah, well, essentially, the strategy was played out as I sort of expected in terms of how I could manage the tires and that. But honestly, we were just lacking pace after having to pit so early versus Luke. Him, obviously, he opted to do the medium qualifying strat, which was, the way to go for him today. Congrats to him. And towards the last stop, was it? I believe it was Michael Ayres I was chasing down, and then Luke comes out of the pits, and all of a sudden we're 3 wide. And unfortunately, Michael Ayres must have misjudged this braking point, because I had to take a bit of avoiding action almost out the track, if I recall correctly anyway. But that cost me the place potentially. And then after that, I just couldn't keep up with Luke's fresher hard tires.
Yeah, so you were never able to mount a challenge for Luke, at least an overtake at the end. I guess you were looking at to pass Luke, but there was no chance actually to get close enough?
Yeah, it was. Well, I already sort of knew his pace as I started the hard stint. So I knew it was going to be very hard to find a sort of opportunity unless he makes a mistake. So I was just trying to stay behind by my time, not get too close to the back end of Luke so I wouldn't completely break my front tires, the dirty air. And well, it sort of played out in the end. I managed to keep up at least with Luke and sort of get close with the DRS, but it was just nowhere near enough to get the move done.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what we saw as well. But still happy with P2 then. Of course, if you're a winner, then you will never be happy with P2. But in terms of the whole strategy of the constructors as well, with I believe your teammate DNFing quite early, are you still quite happy what you achieved for the team as well?
Right, yeah, it was unlucky for Jack. He unfortunately had a screen freeze and his screen went completely blank, according to him. So yeah, that was unlucky. But yeah, I mean, P2 is decent, good amount of points, puts me still sort of in the championship hunt, although I would have preferred to finish ahead of Luke to catch that gap as well. But yeah, it's nothing too much to complain about.
Yeah. No. Okay. So, yeah. So up to Spa in 2 weeks now. Is that a true track that normally suits you?
Spa is one of my favorite tracks, actually, but we'll have to see what the pace is like once we get there.
So that will be round 2, or let's say round 11 between you and Luke, or you
right? Yeah, it's time for a
yeah.
rematch there.
So yeah, I guess you will be fully motivated to get him back now. So yeah, at least thanks, Jan, for being here, and yeah, you did really well with the driving, and yeah, good point still. So thanks for being here, Jan.
Thank you.
And let's see who we will drag in now. Let's see. Let's drag in our 5th place driver. That's Chris Butcher. And let's see if Chris Butcher is around. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Menno.
So, I believe P5 in the end, but a good battle with Simon and with, was it Pascal? In the end, I believe after your second pit stop, you actually lost a bit of time to Simon, but you caught up. How was your race in a whole?
Frustrating, to be honest. I feel like I could have been in the battle for the lead today, because the race pace was phenomenal. But unfortunately, I got caught up in the incident between Sandeep and Lewis, so that cost me a lot of time in a couple of positions. So that kind of threw the strategy off a little bit. But not too bad. I kind of thought P3 is salvageable, but once I caught up to Frelick, I just couldn't do anything in the dirty air, and we were on an old engine. I think Royal Blue had a new one for this race, so we were lacking a bit of straight line speed, and to be honest with you, the upgrade path that we've sort of followed for our car wasn't well suited to this track. So we kind of went in thinking a bit of damage limitation, but for Luke to get the win and me to get P5 with I think Lewis didn't score in the end, so we've gained some really good points on Royal Blue and Frelick in the Drivers' Championship too. So rather than it being damage limitation, we've made really good gains, so we can only be pleased with that, I guess.
Yeah, so overall, I think a good round also for the team. So the medium strategy was quite interesting. How hard was it to qualifying on that tire to get a opportunity, a great lap out of it?
Yeah, it was pretty tough because obviously we reckoned they were about half a second slower than the soft tire. So even with the soft tire, we thought it'd have been tough to get pole. So we thought, we'll do something different, because we did a lot of testing and had a look at the data and kind of figured out that the soft tire would be a bit of a rubbish race tire, to be honest, and that kind of panned out in the race, because in the second half of the first stint, me and Luke were both miles quicker than the cars ahead of us. So that just came down to putting a lot of work into testing different stints, different tires and different fuel loads, and a lot of work from Toby behind the scenes, looking at the data and kind of working out the strategy. So hats off to Toby, because without that call, I think it could have been a more difficult race for us.
Yeah. Okay. So that's interesting to hear. So, like I asked Jan, next up is Spa. What are the expectations for Spa?
We've got to win, basically.
Oh.
We've got some decent upgrades coming from Spa, so we think the car will be quick there. We're on an upwards trajectory at the minute. We're doing really well, and the race results have been good recently. So we've got to aim for those race wins, because Jan is very quick, and the threat from him in the drivers' championship for Luke is still there. All it takes is for Luke to have an unlucky race, or even if Jan won all of the races and Luke finished second, I think it'd be pretty close. So it's definitely all still to play for. We can't sort of rest thinking that the job is done, sort of thing. We've got to attack Frelick, but also mindful of the challenge from Jan behind us. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting into the season, and one we think is hopefully going to go our way, because we think the car's going to be really good at the last few races.
Okay, that was very good to hear. Chris, thanks for being here, and best of luck in the upcoming round.
Thank you, Menno.
And then we will have, I think, our final interview of the night. Actually, need to type to him first. Is of course we can only end with one driver, and that is the winner of the race. Let's drag him in. It is Luke Maguire. Luke, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So, another win, and yeah, you need to work really hard for this on the alternative strategy. So tell us, how was your race, and how did the strategy in the end work out? Were you stressed at the end? Tell us how it went.
I think I was stressed throughout the whole race and qualifying, but I think me and Chris did a good job to get it. I think we were P5, P6 in the grid, and made up a few positions at the start. And you could tell from the very first laps that we had more pace on the mediums, because the soft runners would run out quite quick. And I got stuck behind Frelick for a bit, but once we cleared him, we caught up to Pollins and Jan quite quickly before they boxed. And we knew the reason we went on the mediums is because the soft run is going to last us 10 laps, so 10 laps, and then you're going to be out behind all the hard runners and the medium runners. So we had to sacrifice quali and try to do something different. And it paid off in the end. And we had fresher tires for that whole middle stint to catch Jan up. And the time he pitted, we were right on his gearbox to try do an overcut. And sure enough, he came out on a little bit of traffic, and a little bit of luck swung our way. So, but I was stressed and sweating, but throughout the whole thing, can I just say, Toby Davis and Tom Ely just did a great job on the whole strategy, and we did a great job this round on setup, and we did probably the most work we've done for a round yet, just to get ahead of Jan and Frelick, because we know how quick they are.
Yeah. So I want to talk about one moment in the race. That was when you were exiting the pits. Did you actually know what happened between Michael Ayers and Jan there?
No, I could see it in my mirror, but I just knew that I was ahead and I had the inside line, so I just put the car where it was meant to be. I didn't actually see. I still don't know what happened.
I believe you nearly went 3 wide into turn 1.
Oh, really?
Of course, Jan with a huge slipstream with DRS. Of course, he was pushing really hard for it. So I think that was the deciding moment of the race. But yeah, overall, I think as I look at it, maybe you as a driver look at it a bit differently, but it's the man versus man battle which we saw between you and Jan. That's actually made this race really worth watching. And
yeah. He pushed me so hard, and you could tell when we were 20 seconds clear of P3 that we just really pushed ourselves to a different level for this one.
Yeah, and is a win like this is that worth more in at least in your mind than a win of like 20 seconds?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite wins this year and probably last year.
So then only the relaxation will only come when you cross the line, then you actually know, okay, got it. Yeah.
Literally, yeah, absolutely.
Very good to hear, Luke. And I believe you closed the championship fight now. I believe it was 17 points, and I believe you, what was it?
I think it was
Gained back
19, yeah, to something.
17 or 19. I believe what I saw, it was 17.
Okay.
So at least what I saw. So then I believe you gained 12 back. So I believe 5 points difference, question mark.
That's good from 43 points back to 5, so we're making our way.
Yeah, so very interesting. But yeah, we shall see with the, let's see, 6 rounds to go what it will be. But yeah, you're in it. But will be, I would say, very tense. So
Yeah.
thanks, Luke, for being here. And
Thanks, Menno.
yeah, and hope to see you or hear you soon again.
Yeah, I hope to speak to you in the next one.
So that was our last interviewer, Luke Maguire, our winner at round 10 of the Superlights Championship here in Hungary. And this will also mark the end of our broadcast. So great racing, and in 2 weeks' time we will be back for the Belgian Grand Prix, round 11. My name was Menno Klont. On cameras it was Tom Stevens, and I wish you a very good goodbye for today.